Welcome to Magic of the Movies. As the title and thumbnail suggest, I'll be reviewing the film M3GAN today. It's written by Karl Cooper, who also wrote *Malignant*, which was one of my favorite films of 2021. I wouldn't say that M3GAN is as good as *Malignant*, but I'll try not to compare the two movies too much. The thing about M3GAN that really works is its sense of humor. The film never takes itself too seriously, and the first 45 minutes are actually more of an awkward comedy than a horror film. Allison Williams gives a terrific performance as Gemma, the scientist responsible for M3GAN's creation, who struggles with raising her recently orphaned niece Katie. The scenes where Gemma tries to bond with the girl are a nice mixture of funny, sad, and sweet, and Williams brings an awkward charm to the character that makes her easy to invest in. The entire cast really has some great comedic timing, and there were many times I found myself smiling and laughing at the quirky and sometimes absurd humor in this movie. Violet McGraw turns in a great performance as Gemma's niece Katie and manages to avoid becoming yet another annoying child in a horror movie. And of course, M3GAN herself is easily the most recognizable part of the movie and is already on her way to becoming a modern horror icon. The effects they use to bring this killer doll to life are amazing and once again prove that a nice mixture of both CGI and practical effects are almost always the best way to go. Unfortunately, once the film veers into more traditional horror territory, that uniqueness starts to wear off, and the film becomes more of a rehash of ideas and plot points we've seen 1,000 times before. Although concerns about technology and advanced intelligence have only become more relevant in the last few years, we've seen movies about evil technology for decades, and it just feels like there are fewer and fewer ways to make that concept interesting. There's been a lot of talk about how campy and fun this movie is, and while that is true to an extent, I honestly don't think it goes far enough. It always feels like there's something holding the movie back, whether it's the unoriginal story or the PG-13 rating keeping the kills, which are actually sort of creative, off-screen, and sanitized. There are a few times where it starts to explore more interesting ideas, such as how we process grief and whether or not technology can ever truly replace a human touch, but somehow we always end up right back at advanced intelligence bad. Despite these flaws, the second half does contain a few entertaining action sequences, including the ones you all know from the trailers, although they all wrap up in only a couple minutes. Also, Anthony Willis' score, mostly made up of strings and creepy vocals, really adds an extra layer of eeriness to the scenes where M3GAN begins her descent into madness. The second half may lose the momentum built up by the first, but between Allison Williams' performance and the humor present throughout, M3GAN still manages to be an entertaining horror movie, and I would not be against revisiting this world in a sequel, especially if they took some risks and explored more interesting themes. I'll give M3GAN a 7 out of 10. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you don't, I'm sure M3GAN will show up at your door and remind you. Also, you can look me up on Instagram. My account is, you guessed it, Magic of the Movies. I use that to promote my upcoming videos and share movie news that I find interesting. Until the next review, always remember that the movies we watch still have magic. I hope you can try to start every film with the belief that it will be a good one. Thank you for watching.